Hello everybody, today we are tackling yet another thing on my 2014 650i. Very common thing for a lot of N63 owners, and that's going to be turbo coolant lines on the top of the engine. They like to typically degrade over time, especially with the high temperatures that these engines put out around the turbochargers, and the coolant starts to leak around the edges of the lines, and well, you don't want that obviously because it's going to leak coolant everywhere. There is an alternator underneath of those lines, so when it does leak a lot of coolant, you can actually kill that alternator, and it's more money than you need to spend. So no really excuses here, you just got to get it done at some point. I haven't really seen any super detailed videos. There's one or two out there on how it's done and where the lines are located. It's kind of self-explanatory, but basically we're going to dive right into it, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Sorry to interrupt my own video here, guys. I just wanted to make things a little bit clearer and easier for you to follow here. So this video is essentially going to go in two parts. The first part is the first time I did the job, and the second part is the second part of the job. So first time I did it, I kind of used a mismatch of Euro and Rain, or Ryan parts, sometimes it's pronounced, just the lines, and I didn't really have that many clamps on hand, and I had not that much time to really source different parts that I had on hand, so I really wanted it done quick and just for it to work. So the first time I did it, it kind of looked a little bit ugly, and I couldn't really get to all the lines. I got to most of them, but there was a few that I had to do a couple of cheats on, and I really didn't like the result, so I never ended up posting the video because I knew I would end up redoing it one day anyways, and I finally redid it, and it looks way better now. I'm very happy with the result, and now I'm proud to sort of present how it's done, and you know, show it off to you guys, and you know, give you guys some inspiration, because it's actually something worth aspiring to. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. I hope you learned something new, and let me know if you have any questions or you want to make a comment down below. And thank you guys for watching. Of course, you don't want to be doing this when the engine is super hot. Right after you go for a drive, even a short drive, it's no good. So this car's actually been sitting for about a day and a half right now, just cooling down before this job, just because obviously I don't want to burn my hands. So yeah, they're pretty self-explanatory. You just want to get in, take off the engine cover, okay, gently, because these tend to be quite brittle. I like to lift here, 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 and then that one just kind of pops off. And just set that aside. To minimize the mess, I'm just going to take some of these dirty rags and just pack them under here. This is going to be another tool that we're going to use just to minimize the mess. It's just like a syringe. And this basically just shove in the hose and then extract what you can. There we go. So you are definitely off now. This heat protection really crumbling in my hands. That clamp, I would call this clamp pretty much toast. I would not reuse that. Okay. It looks pretty dry in there. Oh yeah, good luck with that. Actually, we got some. Look at that. So we got plenty of coolant in there. Just gonna dump this out. Okay. And you're out. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna take these two off. That's what we have so far. This plastic thing, that right there. And now we're gonna probably do this line along with this T-connector and this. So basically we'll take off this clamp and this clamp, and we'll just take this whole thing off. And then that'll be that, pretty much done. And then we'll put this side back together just to not confuse it all. This one I honestly don't even think I need to pull off the clamp. The actual hose will just come off fairly easily. It just turns, I couldn't believe. There you go, there's another one off. So this one seeming to come loose now. So I'm just gonna pull you out now. Oh. And this one looks a bit damaged from me pulling this out. So let's see where this thing goes now. And if it's gonna be a pain in the ass, I'll leave it and see how that goes. But if I can get it fairly easily, I'll just pull it out. Okay, so it appears that this line goes basically directly to, or the auxiliary water pump actually, right over there. So this is basically, it appears that it's right under this, so I want to do it just that at least I can show you guys how it is supposed to be done. So we got this, and okay, that is off. Playing around with this for a little bit. I did actually find where this hose goes to. So it's essentially right underneath this intercooler. So right down there. Right where you can see my screwdriver pointing. So I ended up getting that clip loose for this. The engineers designed it in not exactly the most mechanic friendly way, because you need a hook essentially, the way that I guess they see it, to undo this clip. I ended up just using one of these tiny little screwdrivers, and I got it on the more easily accessible side that they don't really want you to pry on, and I just wedged it in there and it started to go, and then I just lifted it slowly and then it went. So that's how I did it. I got the rag back under here, and now I'm just gonna give it a tug. Okay, coolant is going, quite a bit of coolant is going everywhere. So hopefully it's not too much on the belts. Okay, so we got this coolant line on. So as you can see, I ended up just using a regular hose clamp. I wanted to use a factory BMW hose clamp to keep it looking pretty. Unfortunately, in this case, it's just not possible. The factory hose clamps don't crimp down enough. And so it basically means that when you try and you put it on, you can literally spin this around, which means that it's not that tight. These clamps, you can very precisely tighten it down to what you want. All the other pretty ones that I had from like Hondas and whatnot, they would just pinch the actual hose, and I didn't want that. So this is basically the only way that I could do it, and it's the way that a lot of guys do it. So for now, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna see if the Euro hoses that I have, this is a rain hose right here, R-E-I-N hose. If the Euro hoses are better, maybe I'll just buy a Euro hose and use that clamp with it. But not super happy with this. But I mean, it's gonna be functional now, so is what it is. So let's move on. So this right here is the other hose for this side. It's Euro hose. So let's see how this does. Crack her open. We don't need this, and we don't need this now because we're not replacing that. All we need is just this section of this hose. So at least this one's got normal clamps that are pretty. So we're just gonna pop them off, and then yeah, we're just gonna slap this on. It's got the nice metal fitting, so it's gonna be a little bit better than the factory ones. Okay, so now we've basically got what we needed. Look at that, brand new from the box. It's already kind of crusty and rusty, and there was never any stuff on this. Look at that. So Euro. Anyways, we got this on, so now it's basically time just to put this on the car and see how it matches up, if this is going to be any better than the rain hose, or let's see. Oh, yeah, that's fun. The heat shielding is coming undone since I took that off. That's about how tight the Euro was with the clamp fully on. Or the rain, sorry. So we can probably snip this one just a bit, just to get a bit of a fresher tip on this, so we don't need as tight of a clamp. And that would be probably better. So let's see now, once we crimp this, how tight it's gonna be. Crimpers here. Okay. This sucker ain't going anywhere. That's perfect, see? That's how it's supposed to be. So Euro all the way, don't use rain. Rain is garbage. Let's crimp this bad boy. Like so. And this sucker ain't going anywhere. Very nice. So now we got this one, we got this one, and I'll tell you what, I really don't feel like doing the next ones. And I still gotta do this over here. So let me get a clamp for that. Okay, I managed to actually get a clamp on there. So now what we gotta do is just crimp it. And we should be A-okay. So here is what happens when you put BMW hose clamp on a fresh rain hose. See how it just spins? It should be able to spin. It should be like this. I cannot spin that for the life of me. This one, just this one, I can't. It just hurts my finger too much. But this is a no bueno. So rain is cheaper for a reason. You have to use this kind of clamp on it, and it's just not exactly pretty. So anyways, I'll switch that out for now, and well, then we'll just get to this one. Should be a little bit less problematic since we have all that in Euro. So yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna start the other side. We finished this one. So this one still, even though I really crank down on this clamp, it still does move just a touch. Okay. So I'm gonna try and take this one off. Funny enough, this one was actually loose. Even with the clamp still on, I can still actually move it. So I'm gonna try and yank this off right now. Fortunately, I don't have a stand to really show you guys this, but that's basically where I'm at right now. Double layering this so that we can collect as much of it as possible. Okay, and it came off without taking off even the clamp. The clamp is still fully seated. So now we're just gonna extract whatever we can out of this. Okay, so we got both of these off now. They go like so. This one had a little bit more coolant in it. But yeah, these are pretty tight actually on this one. I probably don't need to change these just yet. The hose right there. So all I gotta do is just take this fitting off, and yeah, and then we'll just change it out. Okay, so I just got this connection off from there, and now I gotta somehow feed this out without trying to spill too much coolant. So here's the rest of the coolant lines. It includes this connector, which is nice, so you don't have to change that. It includes this section here, so we're gonna take that off. Maybe reuse that clamp. And okay, so I got this off. This clamp, I just have to open it up a little bit, and give me enough room to take it off. This side connector's off. Comes with a new metal clip, so just clamp it on, and this leaves this side basically in. Okay, so we're basically back in this position. This is fed all the way behind these lines and to here, and now we've just got this clamp here, and that just clips on like so. Okay, and now basically the opposite, so we feed this line under this one. There you go. And this one basically just slides on to here. Like so. And now I'm gonna have to crimp that so that it can go. And then just install this line here. Funny how short that thing actually is now. So, but yeah. But you just kind of have to look in there and see the coolant, and you can see the coolant, and if you can, that means you've got enough. So now we just basically move on to this one here, and then we're gonna purge the system and then re-top off afterwards.
Okay, so now we can just about get start taking this little thing off. As you can see, there is now minimal coolant in there, so less mess. And so basically you start with these two little points there. That's what mounts this thing to it. And then you have a vent pipe here. So these lines I had to remove. There's rags there for a reason. What that's going to allow us to do is, this has to do with this coolant, the intercooler reservoir. Okay, so it is off finally. So that tube at the bottom, not the easiest one. You see that's leaking out a bit of coolant over there. So that one is, let's just see here, this jumbo hose here. And now, if you want to replace this hose, right? Now it's easy. So now you have easy access to that right there.